We move on to the Cutting Edge Awards. I'll read this. The Cutting Edge Awards are an acknowledgement of the work of media professionals who have risen to prominence through the outstanding quality of their work and their balanced and considered coverage. Nominations this year included some wonderful people: Emma Heard of Sky, Harriet Sherwood of The Guardian, Mazen Latif, an Iraqi journalist and editor, Mishari El-Zaidi of Sharq al-Awsat, Paul Wood, the BBC, Rina Masliak, Channel 2, Israel, Stuart Ramsey, Sky News, Sue Lloyd-Roberts of the BBC, Yoav Lema of AFP, Yosri Fouda on TV, and Zvi Yezekeli of Israel News 10. I'm going to ask Michael Binyon, who is actually a member, for his sins, he's a member of the Council of the International Council for Press and Broadcasting, so he's one of us. But more importantly, he's leader writer for The Times, and you all know him. He previously was diplomatic editor of The Times. Michael will present the next award. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think the key point about this award is balanced and considered. Somebody who takes real pains to get it right, to get the details right, and not put out something unless he or she is absolutely sure that the facts are correct. Well, the winner this year of this award, excuse me while I search for the glasses, he's probably done more than anyone else to bring home the horrors and agonies suffered by Syrians over the past year. Month after month, he's reported from the thick of the fighting, going into opposition strongholds while they were being shelled by the Syrian army. He's gone there to hear the stories of those who fled the slaughter, or seen their fathers, sons, and loved ones cut down by machine guns or led away in groups to be killed in cold blood. He's gone to bring back first-hand accounts of the atrocities and has taken huge personal risks to do so. He's been smuggled across the border several times, crawling through drains or long ditches and carrying with resistance fighters on the front line. His spare, laconic reports are all the more vivid and terrible for the matter-of-fact tone, the careful inquiry into facts, figures, and casualties, and his refusal to put out something unless he's absolutely sure that it's not propaganda and can be verified. Here, for example, is a line in a report of his on November the 27th. The Syrian army is all around. They'll probably shoot us if they spot us. The fear is suffocating. As the scale of the violence grew, he remained in and around Homs to report on the mutilated bodies and the ragged refugees, the suffering of those trapped in Bab al-Amr. He was back there in March, as hundreds were being killed each day, sending one dispatch from a house where he joined 6 women and 17 men who had just walked through fields and orchards for 3 days to avoid checkpoints and capture. But his frontline reporting has not been confined to Syria. He's been the chronicler of the Arab Spring, from the early euphoria to the bitter realities of counter-reaction and repression. Last year, he was filing stories from Libya as the fighting reached a bloody climax. His time earlier as defense correspondent and Middle East correspondent put him in Baghdad during the 2003 invasion of Iraq and in Fallujah during the battle for the city. And he continued to broadcast as bombs were actually exploding around his team. He's used this experience to add bite and historical depth to his reports recently from Syria. And as he said in February, it is a very, very bad day for Syria if the numbers are anything like the lowest estimates. Once the death toll is established, who is responsible becomes the question. When he was once a student at the London School of Economics studying political sciences, could he have seen the awful consequences of what happens when politics goes wrong? Or could he have known that it would be he who would tell the world about it? The winner is...
Just after we arrived, skirmishing broke out between the rebels in these positions and the Gaddafi forces in a town called As-Sabah, a few kilometres away. It's the next place in the rebels' crosshairs.
We went to meet one. Anas, not her real name, says becoming a suicide bomber was a childhood dream.
In the short time since this peace jirga was opened by President Karzai. He is seen by the Taliban as an American puppet.
President Assad denied killing his own citizens. We saw a different picture in a week of travelling inside Syria.
You can also hear a little bit of Kalashnikov fire. It's a pretty futile gesture.
The winner is Paul Wood. Hard to keep a straight face during.
Yeah, it's very well played. Well done.
Well, Michael and I were sitting opposite each other all evening. He played it very close to his cards very close to his chest, so thank you very much. Well, Syria is not an easy place to work, and truthfully, we had a lot of help to do the stories that we did, from families who sheltered us as we moved in and out covertly, from people who fed us when there really wasn't very much food, and from people who took really fearful risks in a place that was already very risky. And I was counting up the number of people we interviewed who subsequently died, and 3 people who are on reports on the 10 o'clock news are now dead. One of the people who helped us a lot and who featured in the stories was arrested a few weeks ago, and we believe under torture has given up the names of some 88 activists in the network that helped us. So I'm profoundly grateful to all of those people who helped us. Grateful too to my BBC colleagues who went in there with me. Television is the work of many hands, as Jeremy Bowen has said in the past, and we went in as a team of 4. And I'm grateful too to the judges, to the council, and to this very distinguished gathering for honouring me in this way. Thank you very much.